Hello, this is Jiang from Programming 2 class with Dr. Park. Today I'm gonna talk about my project 2, uh, which is a class. Okay, so that's my homework. I have three files. The first one make file, and the CPP file and the H file. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about first about for my .h file. Okay, I use if define and define the second line define. That's only for class. So the first one means if not directive, go to the second line. Means this line define. Okay, so just define directive. It's for compilation instruction. All right, from this section we talk about the class. We put the first one the class, and the second one is the name of the class. I put the name of the class is array, so class array, and open this one. So we have two sections. First one we have a private and public. So usually you can we can see the public because everyone can call, because it's public inside of the main function. Everybody can see is public, right? And the second one is a private. Only member function can call, or setter can call, like a bank account and like the names of customers, and imagine just some private information. And public, I have the constructor and the destructor, and the sum of a field array average, maximum, reserve, and the print array from project 1 that we have, right? And the end of it, we have the end if. That's all the class function that we need to know, right? And right now I'm going to my CPP file. Okay. The first one include the IO stream, because I have input and output function. I need the IO stream. And the third one, I have the random number function, but I don't really need to use my project 2, because this file comes from my project 1. I just copy, but I forgot to delete. Sorry about that. And the most important one is this one, this line. Include the .h file. I'm sorry, I just named my name .h. I didn't change the name. Should be the array.h or whatever. Okay. And the line 8, I use the IOMANIP because I use the primary rate. And the next one, algorithm. Yeah, because I need the algorithm. I don't think I need the algorithm, but I just put it anyway. Yeah. And the last one of the vector, because I need to change the size of my array. This come from project 1, I think, in the using namespace, right? All right. So the first one, the void means is there it doesn't have a return value. So if we put a void void, so this function cannot return nothing. And the second one is array. This array comes from the name of the class, because the class name is array, right? And like the project 2 first section, we have to create an array. So I put a create array. Those two column, like this, those two column is called a scope resolution operator. The scope of this function to the class, like the create array go to the array, like class, right? And the next one, the p array, this the name of a array. Oh no, the new size, the new double size. Create a new dynamic variable to allocate a single array, right? Allocate. My bad. And that means create an object into the heap area. We have a stack and we have a heap area. This going to the heap. And the next one is array and the columns array. The first one called the array name. I don't know the class name called array, and the second one is default constructor. Cannot have a data type when object is outside of the scope, which means cannot accept or not. There's a default constructor, and we have an output of a default constructor. Yeah, whenever size equal to 5 and default constructor called. Yeah, this one here's called the create array. And next one and the constructor. All right, the first one is the name of the class, and the second one is like the constructor with a parameter. And yes, constructor. We have the integer size, the data type of the size, and this type size is equal to integer is equal to the size constructor. Yeah, this constructor like construct the new array. Yeah, and the next one is a destructor. What is a destructor? That means automatically called when an object of this class type is out of the scope. Destructor. Yeah, it's and we have output. So and the delete is destructor is called yeah, in the p array. There's a double pointer array. Yeah, because we use a pointer. And one more thing I need to say is the destructor. No, I mean all of the destructor doesn't have. No, it's from the new. All the new one don't have initialize. We have to initialize by ourselves. So I put a delete this the p array, the pointer array. Next one is the field array, and initialize random number generator like this function, and use the for loop. Yes, and the next one, calculate the array. This part come from the project one because we already made from project one last week. So just exactly same thing. The thing that different just see every section and members function have of void array or double array data type because we need to call the member function. No, I mean call the class. Go to the .h file, right? Because we have include the .h file, just call the class, and go down. Let me see. And we have the maximum and the reserve. That's all from the project one. And we have the print array, right? So we have to print everything. That's C out, and that's the space, and the fixed. Fixed means the space. Yeah, and this one means the decimal number like 0.000. I put a 4 like means 0.0000. It's like right here, right? And the pointer because we need to print the address of array. The value, address of the value. All right, going to my min function. Min function. And the first one, enter the size of an array. This I talk about before from my project 1. Need enter the size and just cin and the size. That's create and no, I mean next one, array and the pointer a equal to new array, because we have to create one new array. That means array object, right? And a called fill array. That's called this line, the 122, just called the outside of the main function, like called right here, fill the array. Yeah, just called this one, this line 448, because the pointer. And going down, and yeah, so like 124 and the 124 is the same thing as 122nd, the exactly same thing, just called all outside of the scope, all outside of the main function, and yeah, make it together, combine them. Yes, and the max position, everything, and the reserve and print array, and the delete a, because I use the a for the main function, so I have to delete and return 0. And that's my CPP file. And right now I'm going to my make file. So make file, the first one called the P2. Whenever we want to make a make file, we just type P2. So that means everything compile already, like compilation. That's easier. So that's how we make file. Just we don't have to type all of the like -o or -g, everything. Just type make. So first line is P1.0. Whenever we compile on the CS service we do code, they will come to the like the O file, means this one. And what else? Let me see. The O file, and the is a G++, the O and the -o P2, means called the P2 function. And the clean, remove, and -f star point O P2. Yes. Right now I'm going to take my output with wait a minute, can see here, right? There's like a clear. Right now in my make function, I just type make, see the compilation just automatically compile by themselves, right? So it's much easier. So I just point $a.out, because this one is a Visual Studio, is not on the PuTTY, so just different. Enter the size of array. The first one is a 5. After filling, overload the constructor called, and after filling, and just random number from here. The average is equal to 14.6 that we talked about before from project 1. And the max position after reserving, just the reserve just how to say that, just swell up. So the 10, so the 10 is the last one after reserve, going to the first one. So the first one, 12, after reserving, just going to the last one. That's how reserve is. And the destructor called, and deleting that one is the address of the value. Yes. All right, that's my project 2.